Machar, you as President Salva Kiir, and you as South Sudanese are the loser. Thank you, Tony, for the opportunity, and I'll stop here. I'm not going to interject anymore. Thank you.
Can I quickly say something?
Yes, Comrade Ding, you can go right ahead, respond, and then I'll give floor back to Nuer because Nuer was new on the podium and we wants to give him his 5 minute also to put in his point. So thank you. Yeah, you take 1 minute to respond and then we'll move forward. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you very much, Comrade Atilio. I think the way that you've spoken truly shows that there are a few other citizens out there that are concerned about our country and are willing to set the proper tone. The way that you've spoken, that's how each and every individual out there, our citizens, that's how they should be approaching when they speak matters of politics in a way that shows, even though things are going astray in our country, at the same time, we need to show that we are there to support our president because it's the presidency per se. It's an office. It's not the individual who sits in that office. There has to be a level of respect when addressing that particular office. And you've set a very proper tone, and I do hope that such a tone will be adopted all along when it comes to political debate. We should unite. We should support the president for whatever weaknesses he might have. He counts on his cabinet. He counts on his advisors. But if his advisors are being manipulated by the opposition, then the president is a sitting duck. He's somebody that can be eliminated at any point in time. So if we do really care about that unity of our country, we need to speak in a proper manner. We need to address the issues directly. We need to approach the people that are there within the government, and we need to also allow the president to unleash whatever visions he has for the country, rather than making him more crippled than he potentially already is for whatever weaknesses or shortcomings in his leadership. I do believe that, yes, the president has quite a lot of things that he would like to do for the country if he wasn't being outmaneuvered, or if politics was not being sort of used to stall whatever it is that he needs to do for the country. And what he can do for his citizens, people that he do love very much, people that he cares about. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you for doing that, and I would be really happy to work with you as well, Brother Atilio, if time permits, and we could brainstorm and maybe see what we can do to assist our country and to make sure that the president is performing whatever roles that he needs to be performing. So thank you.
Anytime, brothers.
All
Much
right,
appreciated.
thank you. Thank you, Deng. Yes, we have another page was open last week for the government supporters. We should not take it out of context that when somebody is a government supporter, we are supporting the country, not just only the individual. It's not the president. And thank you, brother Deng. Yeah, you are highly welcome. We always here. And let's not try to shy away that we cannot dispute wrong allegations that are being put on the government. The government is our own country. If the government fail, we have to make sure that our nation is fail at the same time. Some people think that it will be only President Kiir. President Kiir is not a country; it's a president of our own duties. So we have to stand up and support the peace process that we can be able to have some sort of outcome in the future and election at the same time. So thank you. I love the word that are proactive. The supporters of the government, we have to be proactive because the nation is ours. We cannot be brainwashed by those who are opposing the individual, those are who are opposing the tribes. That we can just keep running after them, try to be babysitting us, and we're not speaking out. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go on, Noor. It's your turn, and we will come back to Bango and whoever have some interjection. Thank you, Noor. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate Tony. I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate Attilo the way he articulate the thing that is said. Really, exactly, I like it, and I like the way brother Dane talk to. Really appreciate it. Only I don't want to, already you said what in my heart. I support the government 100%, but I support the PCPA, the one that we signed. I support the 2018 and until now. I'm stand there as a government supporter. My question as a government supporter to our government people like you guys, you are our government supporters. The only my concern now in Juba, in Wow, in Malakal, and other town in Awili, why the government? Only my question. Maybe it's a weak or what, but I'm a government supporter because right now security is not only fighting the rebel. We fight other way around fighting. Why we hiring the Somalia to bring the water to us? The water is security water because our kid can die from the water bring by Somalia. And then we have our huge youth in Juba looking for opportunities to have a job. We hire Somalian, we hire Subian, we hire to work in restaurant, to work anywhere in Juba, anywhere. We we hire a lot of people they working while our youth did not have a job in Juba. So government, what do we do as a government supporters? Where can we tell our government so that we can hire our people to replace those people? Okay, right now we have a lot of educated in Kakuma in refugee camp that replace the Kenyan people working with UN, the youth in America, so that there will be no there's somebody working for me from Kenya. No, we have to replace those people. And that be done by us, by the government supporters. So this is only my question. I want to add to you, thank you, Attilo, and thank you, Bravely, and Tony, and all of you, government supporters. I support the government 100%. I die for the government. I don't care. But I want our youth to support the government to be higher all South Sudan, across South Sudan. Anybody South Sudan be hired by government because now we have a lot of people, only 1% working in the government, NGO, whatever government, whatever in South Sudan, UNIMIS, NGOs, anybody, nobody work there, only foreign. Why we don't hire our youth as the government people? Talk to your people. Thank you. That's only my question.
Okay, thank you, Noor. I appreciate you. You got to be proactive or being ready to face some challenges because it's not an easy duty and it's not a one person duty to do. It's not a one man work. What you said is actually um Somalia and whoever foreigner that work in our country. It's a different case. Government cannot solve it because our people are so lazy. They like to talk and they don't want to work. When they come to like Western world here, they start to be working because they have no choice. But in our home area, somebody will not go to the kitchen and try to wash dishes or clothes or something like that. They will be saying, "No, Nyanuloy, we need Nyanuloy." You know what I'm saying? So that's not a government problem too. It's our people because if nobody want to do the work and you have money, you can hire somebody who can do the work for you. And they are those foreigners. They come here because they know that South Sudanese they are lazy. They just like to talk to fight. That's all. Um, that's
Then
my
can I
answer
ask
to
you
you.
a question?
Go ahead.
No. My question was that security because government. government security. Water is very important. Water, there will be poison in the water. Government, you have to see who going to hire. Somalia cannot be trust. Ethiopia can be trust to carry water for our kids in Juba or in Wow. With security, driving in the road, a lot of people die. Even Apanan die in Juba. Last year, remember, 2 years ago, somebody died. So our South Sudanese people, they have to be careful. Government. I'm questioning the government. How you trust somebody to bring water to you? You're not gonna die. The poison. The only one container can kill a lot of people in Juba. So the fighting cannot be only something outside, but within within our families, our food we eat, food we cook, while we hire the foreign, while our kids, while our mothers and sisters, they cook for us. We can hire them. Then trust somebody else. So the government, you talk to the leaders of the government, do not hire the foreign. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, Uncle
So,
Nuer, thank you. I
Miss
think you,
Chai, go ahead.
yeah, I think Uncle Nuer is making a good point here because what he's saying is that at the moment in South Sudan there's a very high rate of unemployment. Now we can't. I know that South Sudanese are very hardworking people, so I'm going to disagree with you here, Brother Day, when we said that they're lazy. No, they're not lazy. Now, when it comes to opportunities, um I have been back home 2015, and I can understand what Uncle Nuer is saying, in a sense that a lot of the hotels, they employ their own people in certain areas as well. To me, I think it comes down. There was a room that we opened a couple of days ago, and we're having similar discussion to what Uncle Nuer just brought up, and it was about unemployment. And what is our role here? What can we do as a government to ensure that we provide services or programs, educational programs for our people? Because sometimes it could be lack of skills. Maybe that's the reason why these foreigners are establishing businesses and they're employing their own people, because maybe the native South Sudanese do not have the skills to do certain jobs. So maybe if we can have, because sometimes education does not necessarily mean that, oh, you have to have a degree in order for you to be qualified. No, we can have apprenticeship in place. I know a lot of people are really good with working with hands, like hands-on activities. So can we have trainings in place for them, certifications, so that they can be qualified to do some of these things, even building roads? This is something that you don't have to go and get a degree in order for you to do that. It's a skill that is learned, but it has to be taught. So if we can have educational programs or training, um you know like sort of people that are trying to train these individuals, it would be really good. And even if governments can come up with initiatives where they have programs in place where people don't have to pay money, but they're just being trained so that we can create employment within the country, that would be really good. So it's a good suggestion that Uncle Nuer
Thank you.
is saying
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
So,
Thank
and
you.
and it's a form of improvement for our government. Like, can they put in funding so that people that have these skills can train our own people so that we can create employment within the country? I think that's a very good one. And yes, you can be a government supporter sometime, and you can also have questions like, why is this not being done? Why is there a high rate of unemployment within the country? So this is something that we can take as a suggestion, and then maybe perhaps even bring it up to our locals, because education is very expensive and not everyone can afford it. And if it's free, this is an initiative that the government can start doing, training people, just like here in Australia at the moment. um we take loan, it's called hex, especially when you go to university. You take hex, and then after you find a job, you start to pay back. Or otherwise, what they have is they have things like colleges, or some are private, some are government funded, where they put fundings out there so that people can be educated on certain things, or even certain skills like apprenticeship and stuff. And then that way, that's another way of creating jobs for the citizens as well. So thank you for that question, Uncle Nuer. Thank you.
I Miss
Could I
Miss Shine.
quickly
Yeah, Miss Shine, you are right. Let me add this to the question as an answer to Nuer. Nuer, I will answer you in two forms. First of all, you talk about people that are actually giving out water. They could actually be poisoning people, and that could be dangerous in terms of security reasons. In South Sudan, we have regulation acts, and those regulation acts have two court. Government will give you a license so that you can operate your business, and they will monitor you. If your business is not actually uh, worth trying or is not healthy to the environment as well as to the people, your license would be canceled. So there is mechanism that monitor your business. Such a thing cannot happen because those water are being monitored. There's inspection in place. So if there's anyone having this ability of wanting to poison people or kill people indirectly, they will be monitored. There's monitoring mechanism that can do that in the government, and that can be actually detected, and your license would be canceled, and you'd also be punished by the law. That is the first answer. The second answer is this: within our regulation acts, if you are a foreigner and you have a business in our country, you will be told that 80% of the population should be employed in your organization or in your business. 20% is going to be yours. And when we break down that 80%, it will come down to what Miss China mentioned. Because sometimes there are two reasons why we cannot have South Sudanese getting employed, by the way, especially with the foreigners business or NGOs. One is that that company who is owned by the foreigner may not have this ability of having 80% capacity of population, because we have agreed with them. We have signed document that if you have a business as a foreigner, you have to employ 80% of our populations. But if that business becomes so small to the point that they cannot even accommodate that 80% that we want, then we cannot employ that 80%. We will now end up even employing 10% of South Sudanese or even 5%. Why? Because the business is shrinking and it's not actually giving us this capacity of having 80% of our employment to be accommodated as South Sudanese in that company. That is one. Second is when there is 80% of the people that need to be employed, and we don't have qualified people, like what Miss China mentioned. You see, this will actually let us look like South Sudanese are not getting employed. It's because we don't have qualified people. And I'll give you a good example. In most of the NGO companies that are actually in South Sudan, they will just put up a job employment there or job vacancy, and they will ask for like 10 years experience, by the way. 10 years experience, ya jamana. We cannot get that person who's have 10 years experience. And even a bachelor of degree or maybe a MD or doctorate, you see? So these are some of the issues that break all the issue down to the point that we ended up not even getting employed by foreigners. One is because the company may not have capacity of employing that 80% that is being required by the Regulation Act in our country, or people are not qualified to get that job. So those are the two reasons. Otherwise, your point is correct, and that is the reason behind. If there is anyone messing
brother,
around with our population, we have inspection
brother,
mechanism.
brother.
Let me
Let
add
me
this.
let me add to your
Okay.
answer
You will come.
because
You will come. You will come, brother.
yes,
Hang on a second.
thank you. Let me add
Warren,
to your answer.
yeah, let him answer.
Let me finish. Let me
Uh,
finish.
okay,
Another
Okay.
third
okay.
thing, yeah, another third thing that I can mention is also lack of ability for people to go commercial. Because most of these things that we do in our country, they are called subsistence. They are not commercial. And we don't have this ability of going commercial. If we go commercial, yes. For example, if I have my own company, it will just be a small shop for my family, and I can just only accommodate my family people. It will not be like a big company that is commercial that can employ a lot of people, you see? So that's also look like we are not employing our people because we are only in subsistence kind of business, not a commercial. If you're going to open up later on in commercial way, government is doing commercial, locals are doing commercial, yes, we will have like a lot of people getting employed because I'll have like 10 hectare of farm. And what will I do with that 10 hectare of farm? My family cannot manage that 10 hectare or 4 hectare of farm. So I'll look for more people. And then by looking for more people, there'll be more employment. The same to the government. If they will just go out later on and build some kind of commercial things, yes. Like example, Honorable Tingatik, they came to Nairobi last time to come and check some sort of mall because they want to build a big mall in Juba so that they can expand those shops that are there because they have these small shops, but they want to build a big mall. If they manage to build that big mall later on, that big mall will employ a lot of people. And that means they have gone commercial. They are not long in all this subsistence kind of business. So thank you. Your point is actually reasonable, and these are all the reasons why we ended up not getting employed as South Sudanese. Shukran.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, my brother. I
Let me
know.
interject, please, folks, before we go back to the topic, because we're kind of shifting right now.
Yeah, Comrade Atilio, you can interject, and then Comrade Ding wanted also to interject, and then Truly wanted to comment as well. So
Beautiful.
do yours in 1 minute, and then Comrade Ding, I will also give you 1 minute, and then Uncle Nuer will also respond, and then Truly will come in. Thank you.
Beautiful. That's fair enough. What I was actually going to highlight is just to shifting from the topic to topic, because this topic that has been touched right a while ago is a huge topic. The imperials is quite big topic. Instead of just shifting from our concern as South Sudanese as a country, just leave this aside. One thing that we don't know, once we decide to be part of the bloc, for instance, East African bloc, which is actually based on the imperialism, the open market, السوق الحر. That means the smarter will benefit. You see, this is where the worlds divide. There is this Eastern Bloc and Western Bloc, those of Americans and Western worlds, and the Chinese and Russian and all this. This is a very huge topic. I'm not an economist. I didn't study an economy, but I oriented. I know what this thing will lead us. So instead, let us go back to our topic, because we have a huge thing to deal with as South Sudanese. Instead of opening this topic, the imperialisms and business phenomenon and all this. That's what I want to add. Otherwise, thank you, Mariana.
Okay, thank you, Comrade Atilio. Comrade Ding, you may come in with 1 minute.
You know what? I'll just leave it. I'll take the cue from what Brother Attilio has said. It is actually a very big topic to explore. But what I can just say is that, yes, that is actually a very good question, because, and it's actually a very good thing for a citizen to be concerned about for his or her country. Young people are the backbone of a country, and for them to be employed and engaged and contributing towards the economy, that not only makes it a not only makes the country more healthier politically, it also makes the individuals, the young people, more stable, more healthy as well, because they, with financial health, comes each and every other uh, healthiness as a body will come afterwards. Yeah. So yes, let's put that on the backside and maybe just focus on the topic at hand, and we'll explore that a little bit more later. Yeah, just wanted to congratulate you and also encourage you to keep those concerns alive for the government, and also for whoever is, like I said before, I'm willing to work with anyone as Deng. And if there is anything that I can do in my own capacity, I'm very much happy to do so. Just wanted to say that. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Comrade Ding.
Okay.
Comrade Nuer, yeah.
Then you can follow us. You
Hello?
can follow us, so we can add you to the forum of that government supporter room. So I already follow you, but you can follow us.
Yes, thank you, Comrade Ding. Definitely follow us, and also we'll add you to South Sudanese political space. This is where we usually hold our government officials interviews. So you could also be introduced to that page. I also have a South Sudanese government supporter page as well, so you could later on be introduced to that. Uncle Nuer, you have 1 minute
That would be
to
much
respond back
appreciated.
on
Thank
your
you.
Okay,
questions. Yeah.
okay.
Do we have a governor? Do we have a government in South Sudan? I don't think so.
Yeah, Mr. Nuer, just wait. Sorry, not Comrade Nuer. Mr. Ruwing, just wait, okay? We'll come back to you after. Take your 1 minute, Comrade Nuer.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for people that answered my question. My question is very huge, like my brother said. It's a huge question. It's very huge because I mean, in the government is complex. Government will fight with anything. Is that's why you call it government. You can govern anything in your country. Do not govern a rebel. Do not govern Korean Machar and the others. They were rebel. And then within your food security, environment security, environmental problem, a lot of problem. All these things, water problem, water, food problem, your people problem, disease, local disease, I think it's all against to the government. Government can be blamed. So that's why I bring this one up. Me, I'm fighting because I'm a finance. I'm not a politician. I'm not a me. I work with the money with bank. Where the money go, where the money I do with money. I'm not work with whatever you guys talk. But
You're looking for your position then.
to deal with the money, I'm just deal with the government of South Sudan. Where
You
the
don't give,
government
you don't give a damn South
employment. No,
Sudan Silver
hold on,
Kid or whatever to give it to you.
Mr.
hold
Luweng,
on. No,
we
no,
don't do
no,
interruptions here. Please
no.
respect the
Hold on, let
rules
me
of
finish
the
my
room.
word. My word
Ruling,
is this.
Let
My
him
word is
finish,
this.
and then you may come in
Why
after.
the money
Ruling,
the
I'll
money
mute you.
came
Don't
the money
open your
came
mic
the money
again, please.
sorry the money came I apologize for that. The money came with employment because the money with employment, a lot of youth like the people die in Tori and in Afernal. Young youth, they kill people. They kill them because they say, why you hire other foreign, why don't hire me? And they have a certificate from Kenya. And then the Kenyan, they are working there. While these young South Sudanese, they chase away because they don't know this. No. Like my brother say, Attilo, say, you can be trained. Someone can be trained to become a somebody, or somebody said, training. Why we don't, me, I'm fighting eh, for people, the NGO working in South Sudan. They must hire our people because I'm an economist. I'm a businessman. If we want to bring the money, government will have money. You have to hire. Give now, run up. You see people sitting down playing dominoes. No money, no work. And then it's to be now running around the road, killing people with the water tank. While our young people, they playing dominoes. This thing is good for you or not? If it's good for you, okay. Right here in America, you hire America first, and then the second is a foreign. I'm here in America now. They put somebody be hired in your country, and then the other one is second. So why we hire other countries? Why we second? Are we second in our country or we first? That's another question. So those who sell themselves that our country, no. I'm just saying, other economists, I want to go back to Juba, Juba people, Juba government, yes, I'm supporting the government. Because I like my government. Any government be changed, I will be government throughout. But I want government to hire our people, regardless of what. We know everything. We can be trained. We can hire people to train us. We can give them the money, train us to do this thing. By force or by not, we can do it. Government can be trained. So do not say we cannot train, we not go to university. University can be, but Don Bosco. Don Bosco is the one that bring America. It is called know-how, technical know-how. Technical know-how,
Okay. Comrade
technical
Noor,
know-how is very important to us.
we
So
will land
my
this
next
point
question,
here. Yeah, so we can carry on with the topic.
so
And
so so
then
my point,
we will create
so my
another room
point,
for this topic of yours, for this question of yours. We will create a room to discuss it there, so
okay,
that way
thank
other
you.
South Sudanese also can put in their
But
cross
Tony, thank
views.
you
Yeah.
so much.
So
Thank,
thank you
thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like this page as
Appreciate.
well. Yeah,
Mm.
like this
Mm.
page as well. So that way you're normally gonna be here to um, communicate with your people.
Okay,
Attach
Mr.
thank
his
you.
butt.
Ruweng, you have
Attach
to
his
wait.
butt. He's supposed to go ahead.
No, you have to. It's out of the topic, so that's why I'm stopping him. Already, people did answer. Truly, I want you to come in to make comments because I was actually giving you a chance earlier, but you were a bit busy still. So take that, and then Uncle Mayom will give you your 5 minutes after. Um, then go ahead. Truly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sister Tony. I really appreciate the good work that you have done to make room active and lively. Yeah, thank you so much too to Brother Denkamit for your constant stand and contributions and keeping room also work and moving forward. To participants, I've been down here listening very keenly to my brother Gilweng, who has left, my brother Katilo. Thank you so much for your contribution. And also Matol, full-time government supporter. Thank you so much. How I wish all government supporters are like you. We will always uh, give you credit, you guys. To my brother Deng, thank you. Noir, thank you for your questions. And it is good that your question is ambiguous and really need us to have a full day with or full room to discuss the employment issue in South Sudan. And to my brother Mayom, you're welcome. And to all our audience, some of you have been here since the beginning of this room and up to now. Yeah, actually, I've listened very keenly to all the observations and what everyone contributed, but I will not go back to all the remarks which were made. I agree to the people who said some of them blame Dr. Yak for being silent for good 3 years. Then he decided not to go silent anymore. And because he opened his mouth and he started sending out some letters, that's why you see a lot of issues coming up. On that 22nd, that's why he first public his response to pull out from security mechanism. Immediately on 23rd, then the Troika came out to condemn what happened, the attack. And I'm glad my brother Matol narrated it. Uh, what was the genesis of the recent attack? What made him to pull out from security mechanism? But according to Troika and other sources, they were like it was the government who attacked IO positions or a stronghold or cantonment side. And and according to Triger, they were basically condemning the attack, and they even indicate the time. They said from around the earlier of this month, the month of March, up to 20th, from 19th to 20th, there was a constant attack, and they actually mentioned it for the last 2 months how the attack has actually been going on between government and the IO. They move further, condemning it and requesting the IGAD to investigate the incident and also to hold accountable who was actually uh, behind the attack. Then yesterday we had the degree. Then immediately after the degree, today I came out rejecting the degree, uh, accusing president of unilateral decision. And if Dr. Ya would have allowed that degree to move on, then that could have been the beginning of uh, unification of forces. But now we have rejected it. Uh, it will give government a second thought of what to do. Looking at what is happening in our country, to be honest, I spoke before, and my stand is always these people have learned the art game to play with the mind of South Sudanese. That is why we have seen a lot of rebels and opposition, because everyone is now trying to learn that it is only that when you rebel, that's when you'll be called to Addis, you'll be called to Rome for you to talk. Then at the end of the day, you'll be given your share. Then you enjoy whatever period that you'll be allocated to by international community or peace uh, initiators or negotiators, and that is actually encouraging a lot of these oppositions and rebellions in the country. Many people blame President Kiir on the issues of compromising, even some popular opinions. Sometimes he can compromise based on the pressure of international community. So, and some such decisions actually are the ones that contribute greatly uh, to this crisis. Because as a leader, you need to make consultation before you make any decision. So when you make any decision, then let that decision remain there, no matter whatever pressure that will come with it or whatever consequences that may come with it. Because you know very well you have already made your consultation and you have seen many people support the idea. But because of one man decision, maybe at some point, we ended up sometimes revoking some of presidential decrees. Somebody said before, the only person who has the key now is President Salva Kiir. And I agree with that person because he's the only person who can hold the country back, not who can hold the country not to go back to war. And he's the only person who can let the country move the way it wants. Because Dr. Riak now has been made like Toronto's. If you look at, there was a small story that we use actually to tell when we were young. This tortoise is actually called a reu, tongmonjang. I don't know how other communities call it. When birds normally they used to go to sky for the festival to celebrate.
South Sudanese citizen, they don't tell truth. Just fuck around and just fuck around. That's it.
It's okay, Ruang. You
Okay.
will have your chance.
Thank you. Please stop it.
Thank you. You will have your chance.
You can say that to the majority of people here. We are not kids. Please, Ruwen, respect yourself. Go ahead, truly.
Actually,
Yeah,
we
thank
can
you.
move him down because he's been doing this eruptively. So we could move him
No,
down because he doesn't
just
seem to
leave him.
be
Leave him.
respecting the household.
Leave
Let
him. Leave
let
him.
let
Leave him.
let give him a second chance. If he's not going to apply what the rule of the house, then we can move him. But we're giving you a second chance. Don't even try it again. Thank you.
Thank you for the protection. Yeah, this turtle. Sometime he was actually baking other birds. For him, he don't even have like wing to fly, but he asked his colleague, kindly, can you take me with you to the sky? I want to witness the festival and the event. Then some of birds actually try to sympathize with him and they contribute their wing and give them to him. Then they move all the way to the sky. When they reach the sky, all these birds name themselves. Some of them call themselves Queen of Earth, others call themselves beautiful names. When they reach to the moon or the sky, they ask their colleague, what will you call your name for yourself? Then he said, I'll be called all of you. Then those guys laughed. They were like, maybe this guy is very naive. Reaching there, the sky, and they met the panel. The panel start asking them to introduce themselves. They introduced themselves, and for him, he did not introduce himself. He went muted. And then the panel went ahead and they were like, this occasion is actually meant for all of you. And then all the crowd laughed and they look at the turtles. The turtles was like, yes, that is my name, and all of you, you have heard. This event is specifically for me and myself alone. All other birds were unhappy. How come somebody who was coming to witness the occasion turned to be the chief guest of the occasion? So the bird decided to say, now we will leave you in the sky here, on the sky, and all of us will go down. You remain here and then you continue with your occasion or festival. All the birds flied with their wing and they removed their wing from him. The guy is stranded. He has nowhere to go until one of the birds decided to bring him back to the ground or on earth. This is what have happened to Dr. Yak. Dr. Yak, when they were in the bush, he was using a lot of good language. So when he used everybody wing to assign himself to that position, after reaching to the position, he turned back to his colleague and tell them, guys, this agreement was basically meant for me and President Salva Kiir. So anybody here is not needed. That's why you see many of our generals, politicians actually defected. Since Dr. Ria went to Juba, there was no shortage of defecting people. Have been defecting even now to government side, and that tells you politically have lost the ground, even on his North nation, based on what is happening currently. But he's trying to hold on to the agreement so that they can be given another 2 years to continue serving, and also trying to compensate himself like what other leaders are doing currently, because they have lost a lot of money during the crisis. So it is the only chance now, at least to pay themselves back. Then after they have adequate money, they can start another conflict. So to be honest, we will talk and we may talk, but what is happening currently is not good. I don't know whether this information is true, but I've been told by 3 or 4 people that Dr. Yaka has actually suspended his bodyguard who are from Dinka tribe. They replace them with the Nuer individuals. I don't know how true is that, but I was told by one of the guys in Juba around 5, which was around 9 there or 11 p.m. And also I received another message a few hours ago. If that is the case, then we will not know what will happen within these
Can,
few weeks to come.
can I interject? Can I interject? You, my friend, government supporter. I want to help you from that side. It's
Yeah,
different from the government side. Hey,
yeah,
no.
you will get it. You will get it. You
Hey,
will come in.
no,
You
we're
will
not
come in.
talking. We're not talking. You're saying stay from that one is the government official stuff. So you jam say different way, but whatever we know. And we know that, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Galton,
much.
Galton, Galton,
Yeah, thank you.
Galton.
Yeah, I've actually taken a lot of time, but this is what we all need to know. The agreement is actually in ICU. Nobody knows what will happen to the agreement within next few weeks. And Trica is actually there to make sure this agreement, according to them, is fully implemented, and then election next year, according to their documents, with the release on 23rd. So for us, actually, be it government supporter, rebel, and all this, we need to pray, especially those who normally pray. We also need to look at what is happening and talk to our people back home. If there is possibilities of us uh, voicing out our opinions, like what many people are discussing here, then that will be good. If you hear someone on the ground who can listen to you, then also you can give your suggestion. Basically, those who are in arms. Thank you so much. And actually, I forgot about my sister, Miss Tyne. Thank you so much for your contribution. I really appreciate and I really acknowledge it. To my brother Arwen, you have your time now. If moderator will give you to dispute, to agree, but at the end of the day, all of us are entitled to our opinions. And the people who are in this group are not all government supporters and they are not all rebels. we have mixed society. We have neutral people, opposition, IO, and government supporters. This is the ground for us to talk and try to share our ideas together. So, but we always must be very careful with the language that we use. Thank you so much, Tony. Denkamis, I yield it back to my sister Tony and Denkamis. Thank you.
All right. Tony, are you there? So now let's just give a
Go
quick
ahead.
let's just give Ruing a quick response so you can weigh in what you want to say before we move to Mayom, because also the time, I believe we left with less than 1 hour, maybe 30 minutes or something like that. So we have to wrap up and instead of keep repeating ourselves over and over. Ruben, go ahead. Choose. Go ahead. Choose your word and correct whatever you
Thank you, thank you.
disappointed
I
you.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, brothers, and thank you, everybody. Look, South Sudan, I am a citizen. I don't give them for whatever, or Silva Kiir, or Riek Machar, or whatever. أنا ما عندي كلام مع إيزور مع سياسيين بتاع جنوب السودان ده جزر بطبح مواطنين بتاع جنوب السودان. Where is Nasser? Where is Unity State? Where is it going on in Equatoria? What is going on in Barghazal? Nobody care. Just you guys talking about right now. You talk about position, united. Silva Kiir and Riek Machar, they've been right now 2 years almost, or 3 years. They are there. And we was talking about when Silva Kiir and Riek Machar, they come together, South Sudan going to be safe. And they still motherfucker, the same thing. They just eating and fucked up the South Sudanese people, human being. We are assisting, we dying. My mom dying, my grandma dying, everybody dying, your mom got dying, your grandpa dying, you then too, same thing. Everybody here, Nuer, the same thing. Attilo, the same thing. Everybody in South Sudan, the same thing. We are fucking dying every day. Our children, generation, dying, education, health care, everything. And they're fucking eating in J1, and they are together to right now. Are you talking about peace? Peace. They are peace because they're eating together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Continue.
I
Go
don't know
into
what
the
you
topic.
mean,
You
but you
haven't talked.
can go
You
ahead.
did
I'm
not
here.
even talk
I'm
about the
here.
topic.
I
Yeah,
don't know what you
continue.
mean, but you can continue.
Continue on the topic. Seems like Ruben
Ruben,
don't
are
have
you there?
idea of what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm here.
So
Okay,
you
then
don't even know what you are talking about, eh?
what is your question? By the way, you asking us what do we know what you mean? But I said I don't know what you mean. You can go ahead. Do you have
Mm.
other question to ask?
You don't know, right?
Yeah, I don't.
You did not put your
Okay.
question in the
I'm
right
talking
way
about
where
the
people
citizen
can
of South
respond.
Sudan. What is protection of the citizen of South Sudan? Riek Machar is enjoying J1, and Silva Kid is there in J1. What about a citizen of South Sudan security? And we have to develop ourselves. What is your plan? You marada or ma marada or ita sharmuta or ma sharmuta. What is your guys' plan for the citizen of South Sudan? That what we're concerned about it. We are South
Can
Sudan. We're going to get right now.
moderator, can you guys take down
Okay.
Ruing? He does
Thank
not know
thank
what
you
he's
for
talking about.
thank you.
We are
Okay.
South Sudanese.
Let's
A
mute
citizen.
ourselves.
We're
Thank you
going
for your
crazy.
time.
A citizen.
Ruben. Ruben, I mute you. Okay, thank you for removing him. I was going to remove him because this is not going nowhere. I don't. This we are not kids on the street, my brother. Just uh, nothing to say, but good luck with your language, and you are responsible for what you say. They had nothing to do with our forum here. Let's move on. Who is next? Who want to add? Out, Mayam.
All right, thank you, brother Dan Kamis, and the other moderators, the
Uncle Mayom,
audiences.
Dagiga Babadia. Comrade Ruweng, we gave you a lot of chances. And since you've been up here from the beginning of the topic, you have seemed to be gone out of a topic. And the language that you're using is inappropriate, and we do not allow it on this platform of ours. If you are here, be respectful for the rest of the other people who are also listening. At the same time, too, for the people who are moderating the room. So please do not put up your hands again. We're not going to bring you back up because we won't be tolerant toward your language that you're trying to use. You have rights or opinion to put out, but with the correct language. As you see in this room, since we have started it, no one has been swearing. We're all been using the right full language in order for us to respect our views or the viewers who are here with us. So please, I'm sorry, we're not going to bring you up, and that is because of the language that you're using. Until next time, you may come back and put your point across. Another time that we have a different topic, but not today topic. Thank you. Uncle Mayom,
All
you may
right.
go ahead.
Thank you. You have to know that there's no President Kiir is not in this room. So you are fighting with the wrong people, my brother. So just take it easy, take some water and chill out. Go ahead, Mayom.
Okay, thank you again. I think the guy is actually telling you that the government and the IO they actually failed. That's why you can see him saying that President Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar they are in J1 and they have done nothing. That I think that what I can understand from Brother Ruing. He's saying that the IO, the government, all of them, they are doing nothing to the country. They have been given 3 years, hoping that they will actually make a change to the country, but yet they failed. That's what I can understand from Brother Ruel. That's what I can understand. Coming to the topics, I am not surprised seeing the fees is actually in the Brink to call up. Why do I have to say that? It is because we know our nature as a South Sudanese. We ever call himself a tribe. You know the atmosphere of those tribes, including myself, my tribe. Second to that, I would say that the country is actually full of natural resources cannot easily be stabilized, as the vultures are actually washing close by the corner of the country. Therefore, you can see the condemnation on one side that the government are the one who actually been condemned by international community, and therefore, if we really go down there and investigate, then we will find out that it was actually the IO member who actually started the killings or the war again. But that thing doesn't go across to the vultures. When I say vultures, I mean that those of the European country who are actually calling themselves Troika, they don't believe, they don't want actually to believe in the government. They only believe in someone that can actually give them opportunity to loot the country, as they started it in 2013. If we actually can see when that lady called Heldy Johnson, when that war broke out in Juba, she was the first person to actually to express herself that within just a few hours, Riek Machar will actually take the government out from the power. Instead of saying that it is actually against the laws that you can take the power by coup. Instead, it actually favoring the coup, that the coup will be shortly succeed. And therefore, when that coup fell, therefore, they deny that it was not a coup, and therefore, government will actually end up being condemned by the United Nations and those of Troika that they have to go and negotiate a peace. And therefore, that peace, we have seen it. When the President here came to sign that peace in Juba, it was something that very humiliated signing. But President Kiir did actually tied up his heart and say that the feast is not actually the Bible and it's not a ground, and it can be edited. Therefore, I will sign it here and make sure that it is not a ground and it is not actually a Bible. Why did President Kiir say that? It is because the feast was actually being enforced onto the government and not actually onto the rebels side. And therefore, today we have seen it again in 2016. We have seen it as well. What happened when they were actually attempting to go in J1? What happened in the second days? Those of the United Nations who were actually in Juba, they put their radar to the government, and they were actually directing those of the rebels where actually they can actually forward their weapon to, where they can actually succeed in actually advancing into the J1, and they can take the power in Juba. So then after that, these are actually what I heard. Please don't actually misquote me. They are not actually my words, but they are actually the word that I heard. They are not my word. I was not there in Juba. So until when the government discovered that, and then actually what they did, they actually fire the gun onto that radar, and that radar was destroyed. And this where the government successfully lodged those rebels, and then they chased them to the where they call the Jebel called Jebel Kunjur, and then to the Western Equatoria, where they were actually being chased to the border of Congo. So, my dear audiences down there and moderators and speakers, I would say that there is no surprise, and our country stability is actually in the brink, and the only one that can actually help us is only the mighty God of South Sudan that can help us. Otherwise, then unless those rebels can actually change their mind, that knowing that the country is belong to all of us, and if they have a differences with this current government, therefore it is this current government, and this current government will actually fade away in a 20 to 10 years. They will fade away from the government, and therefore the new faces will actually come again to the government, and the country can actually go ahead if they have that sense of nationalism. Then they should think that way. If not, therefore, again there is a new war coming. And thank you very much.
Can I weigh in to your Tony? Tony, please, can you give me one
Yes,
second
here.
or 1 minute, please?
Sorry. Can I, coming to the brother Nuer point.
1 minute.
Some people say that there are no people with that capability to work in the NGO in the Republic of South Sudan. I would not agree with that. It is only the system that setting the rules are not actually there, because those NGO there, they're actually telling the people that we came here to help you. Therefore, they can actually employ you and give you a 50 pounds, South Sudanese pound, while they're actually getting $1 million onto their pocket. Therefore, I would say that there is no one, or the Minister of Labor did not actually see their way forward to enforce the law onto the NGO to actually employ the citizen of the country, not actually to come and employ the foreigner people who can actually take the position of the South Sudanese citizen in a non-governmental organization. And thank you very much. That's what I can say about that.
Okay. Thank you, Mayom. Now,
Yeah,
moderators,
can I reject? Please can I reject?
hold on,
Because
hold on,
this question.
hold on,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Moderators, I already turned off hand raise because it looked like we are going to run out of time. We don't want to bring people up and later on cut them off saying nothing. So if anybody, all of you are ready there, Noor will be the last person to weigh in his comments. Then from there we will go back to Madid and Tony and truly Africa and myself. Then we will close the room. Madid, you can update us if we have enough time. Then I can open the room. I can open up the hand raise. But now, Noor, you can go ahead. Wrap up your
Okay.
point, and then we can move you down.
My point gonna be two points because I didn't know what people were talking about. I have 2 points. Thank you, Tony. Then thank you, Truly, and thank you, Dan, and thank you, Brother Mayom. Brother Mayom, you say exactly what's going on in our country because we some people they pause sometimes, like something going on in Ukraine. Russian people they captured Russian soldiers, and they say we were just came for the exercise. Like us from Barkazal. When we came from Barkazal, we were going to get a gun to go to Palmrali. But when we came, Garang tell us, no, you cannot go back to your territories. We just start fight from here, from Bichala to Barkazal. You know how many miles from Wool, from Mazal to from Penchala to Mazal? How many miles to fight? This thing happened to Russia. So we government people, we know this how to manipulate other people to fight. But this thing is a government thing. And yes, I cannot say about that because I'm a government. I know what to do. I know what to say, and government know. Uh, my question is I'm government, but government inside government. I am helping government within government because government cannot fight without the other citizen working with the government, like United States, like everywhere. There is a government within government, but they don't have a gun, but they fight. I'm saying our food security, water security, all these things, I said already, all these things, they there, but uh, the thing that like Riang Machar, all these things. How many rebel? I'm just saying now to the government, to us. How many rebel we have? We have 25 rebel in our hand. 25 rebel now in South Sudan. 25 rebel within young nation for almost 11 years or 10 years. You have 25 rebel. 25 rebel. 25 rebel. And each rebel, maybe one person have 50 soldiers fighting government, but they never achieve to capture Juba. Are you okay? Are you okay? You have $50, you have 50 people or $50 not to capture Juba. Why you don't use standard and come deal our country? You guys, my advice to you, come as a banker, as a South Sudanese businessman, I wanna work for you. I will make money for you. You wanna give the money to me, I will keep money in the bank for you. I'm a trustee in America. I work in a bank. What I wanna say, I want to tell you, you guys be careful. All these rebels, they're looking for their money. The money in sweep bank in Europe, but they forget their PIN number. They don't have PIN number in their head. They want the government to fight to give their money back so that they can get their money. Go the rebels, how much I don't have PIN number. PIN number blocked by government. Pakana mom, but we have been rebel. I know they come to me to my bank and knock the door. Hey, I need my money. Come work at it. And you get bank. They don't get the money. I know. Go before they dig to seek their money, but the money I think is locked by government. That's why rebelness come. Rebel, they looking for them to go away with their kid. So don't worry about that. So give us as a financial people, thank you for me and thank you for people giving me a chance. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate. Those people look at their PIN number blocked by government. So they don't have PIN number to get the money to go out. Yamachar is detained in South Africa. Only PIN number Juba. And when Yamachar will transfer to South Africa, will transfer by Juba. It's supposed to be arrested in Ethiopia. But Juba say we can handle him. We can handle Yamcha how the rest. All these rebels how the rest. Because East Africa they don't want any rebel in South Sudan. No more. Because they took their money, they don't have PIN number. I think a swear. They look at the kid, the kid just take gal. Hey, man buy o killer ya. But she will a guria. So there is no PIN number there. I think belong. So
Hey,
thank you.
where you talk?
I'm so glad. I'm so
And Madiki Jambi, good to see you, my friend, my good brother. Long time no
thank
see.
you.
Hey, well,
Thank you. Hmm? Thank you. I know all this stuff. Thank you. I'm just glad.
I
Hey, Madud. Hey, you Madud. Long time, man.
long time no see, buddy.
Yeah,
Hey,
man. My brother, I
I
love
look
you, man.
before you go.
Long time, man.
I look along. I don't link from the
Yeah.
click. You guys will bang it. And I link
Okay.
click. Link from the other click before being locked. I hear upon when nice to see you. Jack on the twin.
Okay, thank you, Noel. It's good to know you made a lot of highlights. So I'm going to move you down. We are about to close. Our time is coming to an end. See you next time. We're going to be here all the time. Thank you. Atilio, go ahead, put your last word, and then we can move on to moderators.
Can you tell Mr. Attilo,
Atilio, are
open
you
your mic?
there? Probably it's not here. Okay, Mayom, you can put another last minute, and then we can move you down.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I will not actually dwell much again on the issue, but the problem is that our government hasn't done enough to actually make the country stable. But what are we going to do? We will just talk here, and our words will not actually reach onto their ear, and as well onto the rebel here. After when for us to keep fighting, killing our innocent citizen, and when people come to the power, therefore they are the one who did not actually fought the war, the one who actually to come and sit on the office. And if by any chance a widow come to their office asking for her late husband salary, then they are told that I am not the one who actually killed your husband. Don't actually try to come here. Which is a very useless word to hear. When I heard that, I was so annoyed, to hear that member of the government told the widow lady that word. Therefore, it is we who are actually residing here in diaspora. If by any chance given opportunity or actually the government official to come here and listen to us, then I believe there will be a change for our country. But now, right now, I don't know whether the government officials are actually listening for us here or not. I don't know. And I will actually rest my case here. Thank you very much.
Okay. Atilio, I guess you're back or you're not here yet.
No, I'm listening, brother Dan Kamis. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we are about to close the room, so you can wait in your last minute, and from there we are about to close down.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Dan Kamis and Truly and Sister Tony and the rest of the organizer, the Eagle Media. As I said earlier, I'm not going to change my positions. The peace agreements is not going to collapse, but what will happen is the extensions of that revitalized peace agreement, and as a result, the continuing of our people suffering will continue as well. But it's okay as long as at the end of the day we will have the genuine peace where our people in the country will enjoy the coexistence and stability, where they can cultivate and take care of their cattle, in that regard, and we'll have a country that we actually dream of. Despite that, for some folks, it's not quite promising. But I would like to encourage our people from the other aisle that thinks if we fuel this insecurity, it's going to be a way out where they can actually found the ground politically so they can change the system. The problem in our country is not a system. You see, we've been, as a region, neglected for quite some time within the one Sudan, and now we're just being put there in African Union and East African blocks. This Kenyan and Ugandans and Tanzanian, all these, they acquired their knowledge, and they were, they well prepared how to survive. But for us, we still have this mentality of acquiring the means of living from the United Nations and refugees camps and all this. Something that is quite unfortunate. Sometimes when I think through, just my tear just run, in my privacy. But it's okay. But one day we were just gonna be like those countries that prosper, like Rwanda. They've been through that massacre and genocide, and they surprised the world that they can be better than that. And now everyone wish to live in that part of the country. And I hope South Sudan will come or lift up to that expectation. I'm one of the people that expect South Sudan can be in a position of Rwanda, by the way. You see, Dinkamis, and I really appreciate that, and I appreciate Brother Nasib. Truly, it's been a while. I was actually looking to hear from him and Sister Tony as well. Yeah, our country is going through tough time, and a lot of us we don't look at a big picture. We see it from a very narrow angle. This is Dinka. Even within the Dinka, we see it as a Warab, Gorials, and a Wilt, and all this. But at the end of the day, the picture is quite huge and big and very visible. That's what I would like to encourage our folks. And at the same note as well, I would like to appeal to you, Denkamis and Truly and Tony. Let us try to be conciliatory to encourage and recruit people to support the peace agreement and the government. We don't need to be hostile as well, because I know, awareness is quite tough, but one day we will be there. At this juncture, I would like to give huge thanks of appreciation to Sister Tony and truly, and to yourselves, Brother Dings, and of course, Eagle Media and the leadership of Brother Merit. I'll stop here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you, my brother. It's a tough road. It's a long way, and it's a long road. We have to spend my time to advocate, educate our people, because we have the country. We were the people that had never have any country since within the creation of this world. We were in the countryside where the people doesn't know what is a country, and it needs a long um, commitment that people have to be brought into the daylight, that they can realize they have their own country instead of being recruited to go and kill themselves. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then we will keep it up to work on this. Every time, whoever have time can open the room and we can go. Because it looks like those who are supporting the government are being dragged away by those propagandists. They open their rooms that run 24 hours, passing around citizens, supporting making a lot of incitement, supporting the killing